Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to part 1 of our 4-part Commander Anthology Spotlight series, where we're going to spotlight the 4 decks that will be included in this June's Commander Anthology product from Wizards of the Coast. Now, the 4 decks you get in this product will be basically reprinted versions of previous Commander decks that were released over the years. The one we're going to spotlight today is Heavenly Inferno, which was originally released back in that 2011 original Commander product release. Now, quickly before we get started, check out the description below to find a couple ways to help support the channel, one of which is the Amazon affiliate store. If you make any purchases, whether it be Magic products or really anything, through the links provided, a small percentage will come back to help support the channel. It really goes a long way. Or else you can help us out through Patreon. You'll find a link to our Patreon page below as well. We're actually really close to our next targeted goal, so check that out if you get a chance. And having said that, let's get into today's information, and we'll begin by looking at the Commander Anthology product itself. Here it is. This is a photo that Wizards posted this morning on their website, and you see you get your 4 decks here. We'll talk about those more in a moment. And you get 4 life counters, very reminiscent of the Commander Arsenal life counters that were very popular among players at that time back in 2012. In the center, I'm assuming that's a fold-out that probably has like your deck lists and information about the deck, that type of thing. The product's going to come out on June 9th, 2017, and right now the MSRP is $164.99. However, there's a good chance you might be able to find some deals cheaper than that for this product. A lot of stores were burned by the last Anthology series product, the Plane Chase one. Because of that, I assume there'll be a lot of stores selling this for well under MSRP, so keep your eyes open for those type of deals. Now, let's look at the 4 decks that are incorporated in the set. And the first one is Heavenly Inferno. This is the deck we're going to spotlight today, and this was from the original series of Commander decks that came out in 2011. You're going to get Evasive Maneuvers. This is from Commander 2013 edition. You'll get Guided by Nature, Commander 2014 edition. And finally, Plunder the Graves, Commander 2015 edition. Now, these last 3 decks we'll be looking at over the course of the week. But for today, we're going to focus on that first deck, Heavenly Inferno. So let's get started with a spotlight on the creatures, beginning with the mythics. And of course, no place better to start than the commander herself. Kalia of the Vast, $37.59 is her current value for the copy from the 2011 Heavenly Inferno deck. Pretty good price tag there. And this is a card that desperately needed a reprint. Players have really been clamoring for this. Now, she didn't make it into like From the Vault Angels because she herself is not an angel. She's actually a human cleric, but she does interact with angels. I mean, I guess they could have stretched things there if they wanted to. She did see a reprint in Commander Arsenal back in 2012, but that's another limited product that was really hard to get a hold of. The copy of her there was a foil copy, but even so, this card still has a high price tag of almost $40, at least currently. Now, you can see by the rules text here what she does exactly. She's going to interact with angels, demons, and dragons, and that's really what this deck's trying to do. Just put some huge creatures into play and attack in with them. Now, there's also a weird sort of Pillow Fort sub-theme going on, but you don't have your normal, like, enchantments that prevent opponents from attacking you. I think basically the deterrent from attacking you is supposed to be your giant creatures, but it's pretty interesting. So a lot of players who are interested in either angel, demon, or dragon tribal decks are going to find cards that they'll like here, but also players that like to play Pillow Fort are going to find a lot of cards that might be interested in this deck list. So this is pretty unique. Let's take a look at the next mythic. It's Malfegor. Not super exciting maybe, but still a good card, valued at $1.42. Teriel, Reckoner of Souls, valued at $3.77. Now, this card did get a reprint in From the Vault Angels, but that was the only time it was reprinted. And let's look at some of the rares, starting with the Chroma Angel of Fury. If you're into the lore from that time period of Magic, this is actually a pretty cool card. This is a plane shifted version of the original Chroma that came out in Planar Chaos. And this card is actually pretty awesome. It's not an exact copy of the original Chroma in red or anything. They take a completely new look at the card, but she's a little expensive, sure. She does have morph, and she's just a really cool card, definitely, even if it's just for lore reasons. Angelic Arbiter, $1.54. Angel Despair at $3.42. 5/5 flyer with a built-in Vindicate, not bad at all. Archangel of Strife, good support card. Avatar of Slaughter, $3.80. Now, this is the first one of these cards that I really want to point out and say, hey, you know what? If you're interested in Pillow Fort style decks, this is a single you might be interested in. This actually has not been reprinted. It was originally in Commander 2011, and that's kind of it. I'm a little surprised it's only $3.80 just because I feel like it's a really strong Commander card. Bessandra Battle Seraph, and she's another Pillow Fort style card. You can pay just 1 red to have target creature attack this turn if able. So if you have some red mana available, you can cause a lot of chaos on the battlefield. Bladewing the Risen, $2.74. Now, if you saw the leaks that happened last week regarding the Dragon Commander 2017 deck that's coming out, and they do look pretty legit, then you know that this card is most likely being reprinted this summer. So it will get a reprinting somewhere else as well, but it's a great card. I'm glad to see more copies getting out there for players, and that will keep the value down on this a little bit. It's great in like the Sign of the Ur-Dragon Commander decks that are out there. Dread Cacodemon, and this is a expensive card, but it's a nice board wipe for everything other than your stuff. It does tap your creatures, but pretty much takes care of any other creatures that are problematic on the battlefield, worth $3.82. Fallen Angel. This is actually an old Magic card, originally from Legends, only worth 32 cents. It saw a lot of printings after this, even at the uncommon spot. But Fallen Angel is a card you just can't ignore when it's on the battlefield. If you have a lot of creatures in play, the opponent, at the very least, has to think about chump blocking this card because you could potentially end the game with this creature just being pumped up. A lot like Nantuko Husk, but with flying, and you get +2/+1 when you sack a creature as opposed to just 1, and it comes in with 3/3 stats, so it's a pretty good card. Mana Charged Dragon, $4.45. This has the Joined Forces mechanic, which was something they were playing around with in this 2011 product. And it's actually a pretty cool mechanic. It's a very political mechanic where players can throw their resources at maybe a card you control to affect the outcome against somebody else. So I do like the idea. I'd like to see them try this mechanic again in the future. Oros the Avenger, 50 cents. Decent dragon, not a high price point though. Reaver Demon at 96 cents. And Voice of All at 51 cents. This can be an annoying card in Commander. It can block a lot of big multicolored creatures sometimes and just do a lot of work for just 4 mana. Alright, now let's look at some uncommon creatures that are included. There's a couple pages of these. I'll bring up the values of the ones that you see here. And the first one is Anger at $4.15. It's been a while since this has been reprinted. It's actually a great card. Boros Guildmage at 23 cents. One of the original cards from Alpha Beta Unlimited, Dragon Whelp at 20 cents. Durgar Hedgemage, 37 cents. Good utility card. Furnace Whelp at 20 cents is kind of the fixed Dragon Whelp with easier to understand text. Willian Hedgemage at 20 cents. Another utility card. And Lightkeeper of Emeria at 23 cents. This next page has at least one interesting one with Mother of Runes. This was recently reprinted, of course, as a rare in Eternal Masters, but current value is still $2.91. Oni of Wild Places at 19 cents. Orzhov Guildmage at 24 cents. Razorjaw Oni at 19. Another one of the original cards, Sarah Angel at 21 cents. And Shattered Angel at 82 cents. Alright, let's look at the sorceries. You get a couple rares here. First one is a board sweep, Akroma's Vengeance, $1.27. And secondly, another original card, Earthquake, 40 cents. Alright, you got some uncommons here. The first one's interesting, Death by Dragons. It's only 26 cents, but another good Pillow Fort card, and one that a lot of players might not even be aware of. Diabolic Tutor, 47 cents. Okay, it's not Demonic Tutor, it's not even Vampiric Tutor, but it is what it is. And Siphon Flesh at 93 cents. Get a couple comments here with Evan Carr's Justice, 24 cents, and finally Siphon Mind at 20 cents. Alright, let's look at the instants. And you have a mythic here. It's the infamous Comet Storm at 99 cents. So I say that because if you're not aware of the history here, Modern Masters 2015, this was one of the mythics. And if you spend $10 for a pack of cards and you hit a mythic, or even worse, you had a foil mythic and it's Comet Storm, you're not having a good day. This is a set that included things like Tarmogoyf. So, it's infamous for that reason, but you know what? It's still an amazing card. It's actually really good, and it's great in this deck, no doubt. So, it's a great inclusion, just not worth a whole lot. And yeah, Master Warcraft is a rare at 83 cents. Another interesting pillow fort card in here. All right, you got some uncommons. You see one that's probably drawing your eye already. Let me put the values up there. But we'll start off with Bathe in Light, 21 cents. Cleansing Beam, 24 cents. Mortify for 97 cents. But what you're looking at is Path to Exile, $9.84. So yeah, you get a path in here. That's actually pretty awesome. Return to Dust, $3.74. Originally from Time Spiral, another really good commander card. It's influenced and kind of a rift off of Dust to Dust, which is a card from the Dark back in the day. Sulphurous Blast, 22 cents. And then you got some commons here with Congregate at 30 cents, Orm's Thunder at 20 cents, Terminate at $2.49, which was recently reprinted in Modern Masters 2017, I believe, as an uncommon, and Wrecking Ball at 20 cents. All right, let's look at the artifacts. No rares here, but a couple good uncommons. Starting out with Lightning Greaves at $4 and Sol Ring at $3.31. Now, Lightning Greaves has been printed a lot. It finds its way into these products a lot, but you know what? It's such a good commander card, still worth $4. Now, Sol Ring from Alpha Beta Unlimited, even though it has a lower price point, don't underestimate the power of this card. If this card was on the reserve list for some reason, let's pretend it was a rare in the original sets and not an uncommon, and it hit the reserve list, I think we'd be saying power 10 today instead of power 9. That card's that good. So because of the fact that it's been printed many, many times, especially in these commander products, and because it's banned and restricted in a lot of places, it's got a low price tag, but it's an incredibly powerful card. All right, let's look at some of the common artifacts. And this is basically color fixing with Darksteel Ingot, Armillary Spear, Boros Signet, Orzhov Signet, and Rakdos Signet. And their values are 38, 20, 43, 34, and 55 cents respectively. Signets are always great to pick up. They're good for commander decks. They're also good for cubes if you're a cube player. And let's look at the enchantments. We'll begin with a rare, a good one actually, Stranglehold, $11.85. Again, another card from Magic 2011 that never saw a reprint, and it's a great commander card for sure. And then we have some uncommons. I'll bring the prices up. Start off with Pyrohemia at 63 cents. This is a color-shifted version of Pestilence from the original Magic sets. Righteous Cause, 25 cents. Soul Snare, 38 cents. And you get 3 of the vows. Vow of Duty, Lightning, and Malice, 22, 29, and 27 cents respectively. These were interesting cards. Again, they were playing around with this concept in Magic 2011. That it's an enchantment that can buff your creature, or you can put it on an opponent's creature, and if you do, they can't attack you with it, but you're buffing their creature, and you're kind of hoping they're attacking another one of your opponents, and you're still kind of protecting yourself at the same time. I thought it was a cool concept. All right, let's look at the non-basic lands that you'll get, and typically you don't see anything crazy in these particular products, and that's the case here. You'll see a lot of things that help you fix your color, but you're not going to find fetch lands or anything like that. These are all cards that are easily upgradable, though, if you chose to. And we'll start off with the uncommons with the Calm Refuge, 35 cents. Molten Slag Heap, 24 cents. Vivid Meadows, I like the Vivid cards, 45 cents. And Zodic Cavern, 24 cents. And here are the commons. You see a nice little spectrum of things here. You got cycle lands, you got some bounce lands. You got a command tower if you don't have one for some reason. But I'll bring up the values here. Baron Moor, 21 cents. Bojuka Bog, $1.79. Very good card to deal with some hijinks out of the graveyards in actually different formats. Boros Garrison, 40 cents. Command Tower, $1.66. Evolving Wilds, the omnipresent Evolving Wilds at 18 cents. Forgotten Cave, 22 cents. Orzhov Basilica, 40 cents. Rakdos Carnarium, 45 cents. Rupture Spire, 21 cents. And finally, Secluded Steppe, 19 cents. And you will get some basic lands. Of course, you'll get 8 of each. You'll get 8 mountains, 8 plains, and 8 swamps. So we'll say the basic lands are negligible as far as value goes. What do all of these add up if I were to go out and buy singles of all the 2011 Commander versions of these cards? At least today, at the time of recording, it would cost me $135.13. So that's actually pretty good. Now, like I said, once the product hits the shelves, I would expect the value of some of these cards to start to go down a little bit. But we still got 3 more decks to look at, and we're already at the suggested, or almost at the suggested retail price. We're just under by about $30. That's kind of awesome. So does feel like there's some good value to be had here, and over the course of the week, we'll take a look and unpack those other 3 decks, so that way you get a good feel of what their deck lists are like and what their values are, at least average value currently, and expect that to change a little bit, of course, as the weeks go on. But having said that, until next time, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.